A transitional tool to more complicated behaviors, like the scale training behavior, like the crate behavior. They're also trained to go between those doors back there, which is a small chute area that has some mesh, some chain link, and they'll come up and we can train them to lean into it. Most of the animals here at the zoo, most of the larger animals like the gorillas, lions, and things like that are trained to lean into their protective contact areas so that vets can come up and palpate certain areas. We can do blood draw training and vaccination training. All of this stuff without anesthesia, which is one of my personal goals when I'm training an animal, is to do as much through training and as little through anesthesia. A lot of animals will have issues when they're under anesthesia or coming back from anesthesia, and it's much more a stressful environment for the animal. If we couldn't ask them to walk into a crate with our training, the vet would have to come down and shoot them with a dart, and they'd run around and fall asleep. Maybe they fall asleep up here on the hill and tumble down when they actually fall asleep. So much less stressful for these guys. So that's what all of our training is for. It's through positive reinforcement, meaning that we ask them to do something. If they come up and do it, then they get a reward for it. If they don't do it, no big deal. We'll try again later. Okay? You guys have any questions so far before we get started? I know I talk kind of fast.
So are these wolves or not?
Pardon?
Are these wolves or not?
Sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
Are these wolves or not?
Oh, I got you from the sign. So the sign does say they're not really wolves. So the reason for that is if you think about the taxonomic structure of the canid family is the dog family. These guys are kind of off on their own branch. So all of the dogs are here, these guys are off here. They're not directly related to any other animal or any other canid species. So you have to go back millions of years to find a common relative. These guys are very ancient species. They've been dated about 4 million years back in the fossil record, so they're pretty ancient. So the reason why they're not necessarily wolves is a couple of reasons. One, because they're not really genetically directly related to any of them, and a second one is that they're not pack animals like we were talking about. You know, you think about a wolf, they're pack animals. These guys aren't necessarily wolves. So it's kind of a moniker that's been given to them by whoever discovered them. Any other questions? A little bit excited? Feel free to chat with us while we're working. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask.
This one right here.
Jasmine! Jasmine! I know I haven't worked with you in a while.
Jamie.
They do know their names. Jasmine,
And
good girl,
no
come on.
switch, they also know crate.
Target. Good girl. So that's what the behavior looks like. This is actually something you can do with your dog at home. You don't need a big plastic square or a clicker or anything. I target my dog to her bed because she's very excitable. She really likes to greet people when they come over. She jumps and she legs and stuff. So she has to target to her bed and calm down before someone can come say hi to her. Good girl. Target. You'll notice that these guys are very good at this behavior. We've kind of drilled it into it. It's kind of ingrained in them. They'll sit there and they'll touch it even if we don't ask them to. So now we only reinforce them when we actually ask them to do that. Jasmine here is actually working well.
I asked her to do it. Yeah, she's got it. She'll go down to the Jasmine. She's waiting for a mom. So she's extremely smart and she's the more dominant one.
Amy over there, she still kind of shies away with it. It's like, wow.
We have to finish up first. Because the magnet's done, if I get done before she'll go down, she'll start touching her target. And the unique thing with them is why they've been around for 4 million years is they have a very unique diet. They eat small things, armadillos, guinea pigs, rats, rodents, all those types of things.
Actually not a song,
Lizards. 6 months out of the year they'll actually eat rats.
Isn't that song? Which makes sense because they live in near a rainforest area where we also need kind of a push to build up a layer of air between the two.
Give their own farm.
We could probably, but it would be very sketchy. Very sketchy. These guys have about a 10 square kilometer territory in the wild, so this is kind of not obviously 10 square kilometers, so we wouldn't want to put another one in here. We do have. Oh, that was really lazy. I should have given you a click for that target. That was lazy too. One more. All right, maybe that's a little too high. So we do have an area behind here about this size. They're trained to walk through a chute area. We have another exhibit in case we need to ever separate them at some point. Right. So that's one of the reasons why they're not actually wolves. Yeah. That's just the moniker. I don't know. They're not
kind of started working with them.
Putting another type of wool, probably
We didn't know a whole lot about them. As part of their diet,
about one more last one.
they worked on a very heavy meat diet.
Now you'll watch their favorite behavior is they're gonna once they realize that we're done, they're just gonna go away, they're gonna go lay down and this is what anything else to do with this. And that's one of my favorite behaviors because if somebody drops something in here or a tree falls or something, and I don't want to be walking in here and have two carnivores on top of me because they eat, I'm made
Jasper will catch your
that's such a good thing. Yes, sir, you have questions? Sorry?
Puso con el perro. El pulsero.
El del bambú, sí, ¿verdad?